Okay, for Dragonhunter this week, we're going to start on measure 38. So last week we ended with the pizzicato, the P-I-Z-Z, and so we're going to start with the pizzicato, and this whole section that we're doing today is pizzicato, okay? So what you're going to watch for is get your pencils. I have mine right here. If you have your Australia pencil, you can use that. Be awesome. If you don't, come to the store on Friday afternoon and get it from me. So get your pencil, and I want you to go through Dragonhunter and mark. I want you to circle all of your rests, okay? If you can circle your rests, you'll be able to count it a lot better so that when you play it, it will make sense, especially when we get to play it together, okay? So, violas and cellos. You guys have a lot of rests in there, okay? So make sure you count your rests. So when you're playing 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when I rest, I put my finger back down on the string to stop the sound. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it just helps me count it, and it also stops it so it's not just the sound keeps going. Okay, so circle those so you know where they are. And violins, you don't have a lot of rests, but you do have some, so make sure you mark those. And you have some places where you have a dotted half note. Okay, do you remember what that is? I think everybody has a dotted half note at measure 45. Well, cellos you don't. But violins and violas, you guys have a dotted half note at 45. That means count 3 counts, right? Your half note gets 2 and your dot gets 1. So that's 3. Dot does not mean it always gets 1. A dot means that it gets half the value of the note. So if you have a half note, it gets 2 counts, then half of that is 1, so you add 1. Okay? If it's a dotted whole note, how many would it get? Think about that. If you want to call and let me know, I'll give you extra Mozart money. Okay? If you can figure out what a dotted whole note, how many counts is that? Okay? Let me know. Okay, so just go through and do your pizzicato. If you have a place on there where you have a fingering, so violins, you might have a 4 over an A, just play open A string, okay? If you want to play 4, you can do your 4th finger. We haven't really learned that yet, so if that's confusing to you, then just play A, okay? Then you will play pizzicato all the way. Oh, I also want you to find places where it repeats. So violas and cellos, what you have at 38 and 39, you have the same thing again at 42 and 43. Okay, so just watch for little patterns that you go, oh, that's like this other part that I know. Okay, and see if you can do that. And just go all the way to 56. Now look at your measure 54. Okay, mine looks different. I have the score. But at 54, you have a word there. Okay, arco. Will you circle that? Get your pencil. Circle the word arco. Arco, like an arc, means bow. So you have to be ready at that point to pick up your bow and play. Okay, I'm going to play the violin part right now, so you guys know how, so the violins know how it sounds, and violas and cellos, you can play along your part with me if you want to, or at least follow along counting. So here it is at 38. 1, 2, make sure you anchor your thumb on your fingerboard and that you're not pizzicatoing over this part where your bow plays. Okay, that will get your fingers sticky and they'll hurt more because that's harder to pizz. So come up here and do it over your fingerboard. Okay, 1, 2, 38, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 41, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Here's 46. 3, 4, 48. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 50. 2, 3, That's your bow. So have your bow ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it stops. It says DS all coda. What does that mean? Do you remember? So DS all coda, DS means del signo. Signo is sign. Do you find the sign? It's at number 4. So go all the way back to the beginning of your piece to number 4, and there's your sign. That's what the sign it's talking about. Del signo, go back to the sign and play. And so it says DS all coda. And play till you get to the coda. Where's the coda? Can you find it? You're going to start at 4, follow along, goes and goes and goes until you get to, you can see it where it says 2 coda. That's the coda. You're going to stop at measure 27 after you play 26, and you're going to skip to where you see that sign, that coda sign. Where is it? It's at the end, their very last line. It matches. So you're going to skip to there. Okay, you can write yourself a little note on there if you want to. But that part you've already played, and you just go from 4 to 26, and then you skip to the end and play the last line. And you can do the last line if you want to. I'll play the violin part for you so you know how it goes. It's all with your bow. And it's forte, right? Lift your bow. Lift your bow. Lift. Lift. That's really fun. And everybody's is that way. Violin, viola, and cello, you're all have very similar. Well, cello's, yours is a little different, but your bowing is the same. See the down? You have a down, 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 down. Well, you've got to lift your bow and down, lift, down, okay? So when you lift your bow and set it down, try not to crash land. Try to control. You've got to have a really good bow hold, have your pinky in control so that you can lift your bow and set it and then play. Lift your bow, set it, and then play. So it can be controlled, and then you can make it forte and really awesome. Okay, so that is through Dragonhunter, and then next week I'll send out parts and you guys can play along with parts. Okay.